it together, he'll help you with a breakthrough. Apply pressure, it's gon' turn to diamonds. You gon' have some things you going through. Never give up. You never want it, but you got it, you gon' make it through. Never give up. Keep it focused, keep your chin up, you gon' break through. Never give up.
Say cheese.
Give it to God and he'll help you, he'll break through. It's a lonely road for a soldier. Yeah.
All right, man. This is Toni Picasso checking in. Go ahead, man. Introduce yourself. Yeah.
Robert White, Bobby Blanco, Black, Dad, Poppy, all of those things. Yeah.
All those things. Yeah. So, man. First of all, thank you for taking time out your life, man.
Yeah.
Don't get time back. That's the highest currency. So I feel with, the exchange of time, man.
I mean, it's cool to share with you though, bro. It's cool, yeah. And I mean, honestly, the privilege is mine, man. So really, thanks for even thinking of me to even wanna talk to me or anything, just to be a part of it. So really the privilege is mine, sir.
For sure. It's a mutual thing. I would just say this. You already know how I am. Like, everybody shows these typical sides of, what a father is, let alone a black father, right? Like, we have all these things that are constantly being bit in our head of what that representation looks like. And it's dope to know a brother that's standing on business as well. You feel me? Like, and everybody doing it their way. Like, it's not like, hey, bro, you should do it like this and you got to be this. Like, we ain't on that. You know what I'm saying? We just showing real authentic fathers and expressing themselves the way they came to. You feel me? So my first question to you would be this, man. Give us a little background of you just growing up. Like, how was little Rob? You know what I mean?
So, I mean, I grew up, I got two younger sisters. I'm the oldest, so I was always big bro. And I always wanted to be a dad. Like, that was like my number one thing. Like, just growing up, I always knew I wanted to be a dad. My biological dad wasn't around, but fortunately my mother remarried when I was 3 to my stepdad who raised me. And so he set the example of, manhood, fatherhood, all of that. And then my mom was a phenomenal woman as well. So she just instilled those principles of just, just a family aspect. She made the house a home. And so I've tried to recreate that in my own way, but you can't recreate it without a woman.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, that's imperative. But just as far as like my manhood and my fatherhood, I've just really just the principles that my parents instilled in me. I've just literally try to live that out in real time.
I like that. Can you give us 3, 5, however many, Give us your top 3. We don't gotta dive too deep, but just your type 3 principles, or just the ones that come to your head, because I guess you can exchange what's more important and what's not, depending on the circumstance, right?
I think number 1 is just being present. Like, I think that all of my kids would feel like that they can come and talk to me, or that I make them a priority in my life. I try not to make like the work life and the adult stuff. I try not to let them really even deal with that because they kids, right? So number 1 is just being present. 2, love. I mean, love probably should be first, but you got to be present to show love. I don't think that you couldn't, if you're not present, you're not going to be able to even show love, because you're not going to be able to understand. And just building a relationship. Like, I don't think my kids think I'm their friend, but I think that you can come and talk to me, right?
Yeah.
I'm not your friend though.
Yeah.
Maybe sometimes, but I mean, it's a healthy balance. You want kids to be kids and enjoy life. I think that I grew up and I had I had a childhood. You know, especially a lot of black children, they don't have childhood. They deal with trauma.
Mm-hmm.
In my situation, I didn't really deal with a lot of trauma. Honestly, like I'll be honest, I didn't really deal with a lot of trauma. So I like had a childhood, like a very fulfilling and satisfying childhood. And so I try to let my kids have that same thing. Like I want you to still be a kid, like go to the park, go outside, play with toys, do all that, have an imagination, be creative, make mistakes. It's cool. Like we're gonna make mistakes just to succeed within the boundaries that I just provide that boundary. So like we're gonna make mistakes to a certain extent, but we're not gonna be doing nothing like super outrageous. But yeah.
Yeah, man. I think when it comes to like that term, like being your child's friend, that term is loose because the definition of friend could be any type of way.
True.
Me personally, I feel like a friend is not going to put me in a situation that would harm my life. So whether I agree or disagree, whether I agree or disagree with what that friend is bringing, the friend should be able to correct you and sharpen you up.
Yeah.
So if you don't got people sharpening your life, then they ain't your friend.
That's valid. That's valid. That's true. Because like we want to put our kids in the best situation.
Yeah.
And then but still allow them that space to still choose what they want to do, and then be there for them when they mess up and be like, see, this the reason why I told you not to do that.
Okay.
Like, how did I get a part of this? Nah, that's dope, man. That so many things just went through my head with that. But I would say if you could share one thing to another father, right now, what I'm saying, whether it be inspirational, whatever, a father that just needs some type of encouragement, what would you say to him?
Be yourself.
I like that. Elaborate.
I mean, I think so many times in society they have this like it's like a narrative of how a father is supposed to be, and you don't. Our goal is to raise authentic kids. Kids that are gonna grow into adults that are gonna have an impact on this world, and they're not gonna be able to do that if they don't know themselves and know their purpose. So you gotta know who you are, and you gotta live in your truth. You gotta live in your purpose. So be yourself, King.
Yeah.
Period.
I like that. Man, that's wow. That was deep right there.
I mean, that's just that. Yeah. I mean, that's just how I've always. That
makes sense.
That's been my formula.
Yeah,
it's just like sense. I can't be nobody if I can't be myself. If I can't be myself around my kids, then how are my kids gonna trust me, right? And then how can I trust myself with my kids if I can't be me around them?
That I totally get it.
Yeah, and then they don't really, and then it's like they didn't have a choice in all of this. Like they just here, so they like, yeah. So I have really no reason not to show up and be who authentically myself, so that they can trust me and be like, oh, I can trust you, like because anytime I show up, anytime I see you, anytime I interact with you, you're showing me it's a consistent person. And when you're not being your authentic self, it's usually when you're not being authentic, it's a roller coaster, right? Yeah. But when you're authentically you, it's consistent across the board. So I try to just be consistent with my kids, like just be me. Even if I'm having a rough day, they don't really know if I'm having a really great day. They definitely know because we definitely celebrate but also like they know too though. Like I mean, I think like they know when I've had a bad day, like a rough day at work or anything like that. But that's also just because who they're used to might be a little off. They be like, "Ooh, daddy's a little, a little tight. Like he a little short with his words towards us." That's when I might get a hug or a dad joke or whatever, or just you know, that just that little extra attention. You just recognize when they know, like, oh, let me just do like Ruthie. Like, one thing I've just realized, just having a, you know, like Robert is 14, the twins are 11, Ruthie's 17 months. So I'm like pretty much starting over, right? But I realized just like sometimes, like in moments, she'll give me like her food or something, and then I like looked into that, and it was like, oh, that's like a real expression of love, because that's all she has. It's like she's giving me all that she has. She ain't got nothing else. Mm-hmm. So it's like, to me, it'd be like crazy to think about, like she just automatically does that, but when she sees me, it's the same person every time. It's like, yeah, you know, like, you can run to me. It's going to be the same energy every single time. And I think that that's consistent for all of them. So be yourself, be true to yourself, and like, don't let anyone else, like, don't try to be anybody but you. Cause like whoever you are, that's who you're going to have to be they entire life. Right.
Yeah, so I get it. In that, man, I just kept hearing you even said the word a couple times. I heard the tone of consistency. So it's safe to say that, you know, and I'm not gonna say your stepfather, I'm gonna say your father. Your father gave you consistency, right?
Consistency and stability.
Yeah, right. Elaborate, right? Man.
Yeah, like, I mean,
express that.
I knew when I came home, both my parents were gonna be there. You know, like I didn't have to ever wonder where the situation was. And then if I knew if Paul was gone, I knew where he was because my mom knew where he was. And then it was a consistent thing, like, oh, it's bowling on Fridays, it's golf on Sundays, it's this during like from October to January. On the weekends he gonna be hunting. You know, like it was like a family, everybody knew, you know, so it was stable. And when there's stability and consistency, that's how you build foundation. That's how you build trust. So, you know, like Tuesdays, what do we normally eat tacos? That might be like, for instance, somebody might look at that as like the weirdest thing or something simple, but we've been eating tacos on Tuesdays since you knew what Tuesdays were.
No, sometimes nachos and other stuff.
Right, we expand on tacos, you know, we adapt it, elaborate, but it's still like a taco type thing, right? Yeah. How old are you?
14.
We've been doing this for 14 years, you know, but they can count on that, you know, so it's just like today, pizza on Fridays, right? With a movie. We've been doing that for what? Your whole life. That's, you know, so they can count on that when they know it's like, oh, Friday, we don't even have to talk about it. It's like, where we getting the pizza from? What movie? Let's argue about what movie we gonna watch, you know, but they know that, and that they'll realize it later in life, but that just that consistency to me is just, I mean, for me, it was foundational. So
is there anything you would like to say to Paul? You know what I'm saying?
Oh, I mean, I love you. I mean, I love you.
I know that it ain't weird.
That's my man. No, that's my man. No, honestly, just being older, you know, we had a heart to heart where I expressed to him like, you know, like, man, like, I just thank you for just the impact that you had in my life. And, you know, I never had to express it until that moment. And so we sitting in his truck, just having a conversation. We ended up talking for like 2 hours, and he's sharing intimate details about his experience with his dad and like his childhood, and how he didn't want the same what he went through. He didn't want me to experience that because we had a similar of a similar dynamic. So yeah, it's dope. You know, like, you don't, when you're a kid and when you're younger, you don't really realize just the impact until, I think I didn't really realize the impact he had on me until I was a dad, you know?
I get it.
So just because when you outside just running around as just as a man or as a guy or whatever, because I didn't really think I could even say I was really a man. Like this one made me a man. It's funny how like everyone else scattered, but he's still here because he was the first one.
Yeah.
You know, like he's been down since day one. This really my day one. Yeah. So he was a catalyst that kind of, I would say, made me want to be a man, because I knew I had somebody looking at me. Now I got another son looking at me. I got a daughter looking at me that's looking at me in a different way than my boys are looking at me. They looking at me. She's looking at me as somebody that who am I in my future potentially could date or whatever. I got another daughter that, like the type of man that needs to be in my life. Like, so yeah, so no.
Yeah. Man, is there a formula? Because I know you said, it takes two, you know what I'm saying, for a household. Is there a formula for, the fatherhood and, the husband aspect? Or
Jesus.
There you go. Okay.
I mean, God first, bro.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the formula. God set up the formula, and if you tap in with God and you know your purpose, I mean, yeah, bro. I can't. That's just the depth. That's just how deep it gets, though, right?
Yeah, I understand.
He's so beyond like what we can think, and then when we try to put it into words, you can't really even put it into words, but you live in it, right? Like you can't put it into words, but you're actually living it, and so, yeah. If I wasn't, I mean, I know for a fact if I wasn't tapped in with God, like I wouldn't be the man that I am. But that's from my parents. That's just from how I was raised, So, because it's crazy. Like I have friends that like we talk about this like being. I've never been a baby daddy, right?
Man, fact,
I've never been a baby daddy. I've always been a dad. I've always been a father. So, but I couldn't go to the crib, bro. Like I couldn't go home. Like when I was 25, 26, 27, I wouldn't have been able to go home and face my parents if they was like, oh yeah, you not taking care of your son, or where's Robert? You always, where was your Christmas at every year? At Mima's house, right? I couldn't have come home to have Christmas celebration and they knowing like, oh, you're not taking care of your son. Like I wouldn't have even been able to like show face. So it wasn't even, that was the expectation, like being responsible for your offspring. That was just the expectation. So I honestly, I didn't really have a choice. But then when you're tapped in with God and you understand like your purpose as a man, like you really don't have a choice anyway, so I just leaned in on that and God's always provided. I can remember a time, you remember when it was a time, bro, he's honestly, Robert has honestly been there in moments where like God has really like shown out for me. Like I remember it was probably around this time because like school was out, and bro, I had got a crib, and the landlord had told me because I had already put a deposit in with another crib that they owned, I was gonna have to put another deposit in. He was like, oh, we'll just transfer it over. But I remember we went to the property management company, bro, and the lady was like, oh, you got to put this deposit. And I was like, 1,500. And I was like, oh, no, the dude already told me I was good. She was like, nah, we can't give you the keys. My mans was with me.
I remember
Mm-hmm.
You driving back and forth.
Mm-hmm.
Bro, like 10, 15 minutes later, dude called me. He was like, oh, no, bro, my bad. Go back up there and get the keys. You remember that? I didn't know what I was going to do. So, like, in real situations, it's like God be showing up, and my man, he's been there, like literally been right there with me, So it just be like, yeah, just being tapped in, bro. It's just being tapped in.
It's good, man.
Him right here, he's the second oldest.
I know, but who's that? The girl in that picture with the red hat.
That's his girlfriend.
Why isn't he with her?
Remember they moved? So he like sad.
Man,
he's slurping right.
That's how you eat your cereal? All right, man.
You ain't even eating cereal anymore. I ain't seen y'all eat cereal in a minute.
Well,
Nah.
Like it plain.
Oh yeah, that's true.
There it is.
Nah, but what I was saying, like how you were saying that it's gonna be emotional, it should be, bro. But the thing about it is you're capturing something that most people they don't capture when it comes to dads or fatherhood. Period.
Yeah.
Like we don't get the fame, we don't get the none of that, bro. Like they don't even realize that the statistics that black fathers are more in their life than any other race of fathers, period, bro. But they don't hear about that. You only hear about single mothers, and salute to the single mothers, 100%. But like the dads be daddying on the black side, like for real, like we be daddying, and the ones that really be on it, we really on that. Like it's really like that's the type of time we on dad time. Like
I believe that,
really
man.
on dad time, like for real, you know. So
man, I think you said something earlier about like the baby daddy thing. I feel like the baby daddy thing gets over blurted and over promoted because they want you to think of this negative connotation.
but what makes
crazy?
But really though, bro, what makes a baby daddy and a dad, bro? It's just the consistency.
Right. But I'm
it's
just saying
it's a lack of presence. It's a lack of like you're not gonna see me outside going crazy for like buying bottles and doing all this other stuff, and then my kids ain't got no shoes, ain't got no clothes.
Don't make sense.
Like looking bummy, you know. If they looking bummy, it's because they chose to look bummy. At this point,
you
Don't look at me.
dress yourself.
I'm gonna wear pajamas to school today.
No, I'm really talking about your brother. He took the braids out last night on purpose so that he could go to school with his hair looking like that, looking like Ja Rule, looking like who shot John and forgot to kill him.
He chose violence.
He chose that.
Man.
But I'm gonna let you do that though. Yeah. I'm also not the type of parent that, yeah, you represent our family, but you really represent your family on how you carry yourself. I don't care how you look. How you carry yourself in the classroom, grades, behavior. That's how you represent our family. Like how you dress, that's irrelevant, you know, because like, shoot, the way you dress could be the next biggest trend, you know, like tomorrow, the way the fashion is, like, I don't care about that. But when you in the classroom, you gonna have good grades. You're not gonna be getting detentions and getting kicked out of class and all of that. We not doing that, right? And so that's really where, for me, the daddying comes in. But when you a baby dad, you can't do that because you ain't really got no presence. Like if you don't have no presence, you don't have your presence as a dad isn't really felt if you're not there. You know, like it's just not there. Just like if any type of authority, you think of a authority figure, or if they're not always there, you gonna be doing whatever. It's just like, yeah, whatever. You knew what parent you could get away with what, right? For me, I couldn't get away with nothing with either one. There was no getting away with nothing. So it was not no getting away. I learned to stop lying. I learned like, man, like it's better if you just tell the truth instead of lying. I learned that when I was like 10. You know, I was like, bro, like, and then it was like life was pretty much, oh yeah, cool. If I just listen to what y'all saying, I don't lie about it. Like even if I mess up, it's all good. You're gonna tell me the right way to do things. Oh. Let's go. It's wonderful. It's the easiest life, man.
You feel that way? Like, yeah. It's easier to just listen.
Yeah. Sometimes you still got. Yeah.
No, I learned my lesson.
Yeah. Still got more lessons to learn. It's cool. You're only 14.
Yeah. You gotta forever be a student, man.
Yeah, I'm still a student. I'm learning. I learned a lot today, actually. Yeah. You know? and honestly, that's a good. If you didn't learn something throughout the day, then you're doing something wrong. Really, you really didn't live that day if you didn't learn something.
That's a good one. Yeah, you gotta forever be a student, man.
But now this, I mean, no matter what, just these conversations, just all of this, bro. This is just wonderful, just for parenting. Period. Not even just being a dad or being a mom, just parenting. Period. Because I think that it shares and shows the importance of both people. Because like they say, it takes a village, right? That's what they say. And just since since you know where I'm at spiritually, we weren't supposed to be alone anyway. Mm-mm. So we need both people regardless. You need the man and the woman, period. So we have our responsibilities and our roles that we're supposed to have and fulfilling. So I just know, as a black man and as a black dad, our role and responsibility oftentimes is overshadowed by baby daddies and all of the other nonsense that goes on, and they don't really, because I mean, I don't really, bro, I don't have to be outside and tell people I'm a dad, bro. You gonna know just by my kids. Like, I don't have to tell people or post or do anything. Like, see how my kids act in public. That'll tell you if I'm a dad. Like, to me, that's my representation. Like, when we can go out in public and y'all not acting a fool and like sitting off and doing what you're supposed to do and representing how we're supposed to be representing ourselves, to me, that lets me know, like, okay, you're doing a half decent job. Can I be better? Hell yeah, I definitely could be a better dad. But I'm track athlete, multi-sport athlete, good grades. My Robin, basketball player, wonderful grades. She gonna be a principal in 2 weeks. Soon to be track star. Shane is an artist. Like, I mean, and they cool. Like, they happy kids. My daughter happy, smiling. Like yeah. To me, I'm cool. We really don't know. I'm not gonna really know how well I did until like they get older. But like for right now, I'm like, yeah, y'all decent. Like I'm cool. Like, y'all cool to be around. Like, I hang out with y'all.
Like, I'll kick it with my kids, right? That's a good feeling, man. I mean,
because some kids you don't want to hang out with.
No, not at all. And I teach, so I could definitely tell you, it's a lot of kids I'll be like, why are you talking to me?
But then my kids like hanging out with me too, though. Because like I think that's the thing too. Is like, your kids might not. I know kids that don't even like their parents.
Nah.
Right? Like, they don't even want to be around their parents. Like, my kids love being around me.
Yeah, what you doing?
So like, I like that too. Like, I like that it's enjoyable for both of us. Like, for everybody involved, we're all enjoying this situation. So like, it's a good time for everybody that's involved. So yeah, it's great over here. Isn't it? You better not lie. You better say the truth.
Yeah, that's
You're right, you don't.
Yeah, that was good, man. That was good. Yeah, we back, man.
Oh, okay.
All right. So, man, I'm gonna ask you this question, brother. What is something that you can feel, you feel as a father that you can improve in? You are a person that's always trying to evolve and go to the next level. So, share with our viewers, man. Share that.
I mean, we talked about balance, so just the balance portion, like balancing like professional life and then family life and time management. So I'm always looking for innovative ways to manage my time and still make sure that I have time for myself, have time for my wife and all of those things. So just overall, just time management and just keeping a healthy balance. So yeah, that I would say that's probably the number one thing that I would like to improve on, because sometimes it can go one way or the other, you know, and that can be good or bad, you know. So depending on the timing of all of it, right?
right. Man, is there anything that you want to be remembered of, you know, as your legacy? If you could put your legacy in a phrase. I mean, we know you could be a paragraph, you know what I'm saying? But if you could give your legacy a phrase, what would it like? What would that be?
A Jesus follower.
Okay, like it. Jesus follower.
I mean, and I would want to just leave that legacy of just following that and being and that my actions and everything how I lived reflected that. So being a good steward of my talents and having good, just bearing good fruit, like being a good friend, being a good dad, being a good father, all of those things, you know, those come from following Jesus. So I would just want to, that's it.
It's good, man. What?
I mean, I don't sometimes, bro, I don't even necessarily be wanting to really, you know, do you? I don't know, do I really want to be remembered like that? You know what I'm saying? Like, okay. I mean, just honestly, like, yeah, you want that, but then it's like, do I really want that? You know, like, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not gonna know, like, but then you think about, like, so let me reframe that. The legacy that I would want to leave is that my kids knew that they were loved. You know what I'm saying?
I felt
that's what I would want them to know, that they was loved.
Yeah.
More than anything. So if 100%. Yes, in that sense, that is the more reflection of, like, that's the more reflection of God to me anyway. You. So like, if the legacy that I would want to be remembered, because I had to think, like, who do I really want to remember me?
You deal with that. Drop the bar.
You know, as men, we provide the identity.
Genetics.
And I mean, not even beyond genetics, bro. Spiritually, you think about even in Genesis, bro. Like,
well, that's what I mean.
Yeah, God brought all the animals. Adam named all the animals.
I get it.
And then he named the woman too. And then when you think about genetics, the identity of the child, like the sex, comes from the man. So it's just like, that's the responsibility portion.
Yeah, I get it. Let me see.
Not even really, and then not even on no cap shit though. Like, not even on no like bragging, like, type of like, oh, because it's not even. And that's like the messed up part, is like society will make you think like it's like a superiority thing. Like, nah, like, it's just a responsibility. Like, you know, we're the cultivators of the soil, where like the woman is the soil.
I see what you said.
You know, right? Yeah. And so, like, there can't be one without the other. Like, wow. I can't be a cultivator if I ain't got no soil.
That's true.
And and without a cultivator, you ain't nothing but dirt. You're not fertile soil without a cultivator, someone that's gonna plant a seed.
I mean, drop the bar.
Hey, y'all just need to be better with who you let sow your seeds.
That's true. It's true. Choose wisely.
But also, we as men need to be better at the seeds that we sowing.
That's true. That's true right there, bro.
Me, I'm in this discipleship group, bro, and we talked about sowing seeds and how even like your bad seeds still your bad seeds will still have a harvest, bro.
Mm-hmm.
So even when you sow bad seeds, that stuff's still gonna grow. You can't stop it from growing. But if you sowing enough,
uproot it.
Oh, sure.
Just saying.
You could, but how many times you done pulled out the weeds and the weeds done came back stronger?
Uproot is different from pulling out weeds at times.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? When you get rid of weeds, sometimes you cut them just enough not to see them. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
You don't totally get rid of things. You just you put it away.
Yeah.
And that's why I get what you're saying. But on the spiritual level, no, the term is uproot.
Gotta cut, yeah. Pull it out of
Once you come out of covenant with things that you committed to, you know, then you can really be set free.
Yeah.
Give it to God and he'll help you with a breakthrough. Pressure is gonna turn to diamonds. You gon' have some things you going through.